you worried about the high import bill on food? Does Nigeria have the potential to produce enough food for her citizens? The deployment of agricultural biotechnology has the potential to tackle the challenge of poor yield, pest infestation, disease attack, drought, and other environmental challenges. Biotechnology in Focus is a program designed to enlighten you on the benefits of application of modern science in agriculture as against the misleading information against the technology. Join Ifeanyi Ugoke as he engages seasoned experts, scientists, and other relevant stakeholders on agricultural biotechnology on Thursdays, 10:05 a.m. on Vision FM 92.1 Abuja. Agricultural biotechnology, a sure way to food security in Nigeria.
The land is green, it's green, oh, oh.
Welcome to this week's edition of the program, Agricultural Biotechnology in Focus, on Vision 92.1 FM Abuja. My name is Ifeanyi Ugoke. Agricultural Biotechnology in Focus is a program designed to enlighten you on agricultural biotechnology and its economic benefits. On this edition of the program, our topic of discussion is economic benefits of BT cowpea, popularly known as beans. And with me to discuss the topic is Professor Mohammed Faguji Ishako. He is based at the Institute of Agricultural Research, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Professor Ishako is specialized in crop improvement, using genetic traits to develop new and improved economically beneficial varieties of crop. He is currently working on cowpea, popularly known as beans. Professor Ishako, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
What precisely is BT cowpea?
BT cowpea, the name is derived from a character that was an improved character that was added to it to enable it to withstand insect infestation, which otherwise it would have been susceptible to the insect, and then a lot of yield, up to 80% yield loss, is attributed as a result of this insect attack. But this specific cowpea, which is called BT cowpea, is a cowpea that has been improved genetically to enable it protect itself against this insect.
What is the stage of this BT cowpea in the confined field trial?
At the stage when we experiment as scientists in our research area, we have to take the material out to the natural environment for it to test, to show its own performance under the condition under which farmers will grow it, whether or not it will still repeat what it showed to us as scientists. At that stage, we have grown and tested this new cowpea, the BT cowpea, which is popularly called now. We have realized up to 4-fold increase in yield advantage when these insects are around and infested. So having satisfied ourselves with the performance experimentally, then we invited farmers who are experienced in growing beans in their own way, and made them to grow it. So we have grown this new variety, tested it to see whether the performance is it repeats itself from year in, year out. And then from the perspective of the farmers, in addition to in terms of good yield to the farmer, what are the other things the farmer likes about the cowpea? So we have reached a stage where farmers have given us their own opinion. We already have our own as scientists. We know it is highly performing. It gives you not less than twice the normal performance cowpea, ordinary cowpeas will give you. And then the farmers also attested to this, that it is highly beneficial, it is early maturing. If you check in those platforms where journalists like you interacted with these farmers who voluntarily participated in this evaluation to help us get a farmer perspective from it, will tell you all these things I'm telling you, that they are so eager to have the seeds of this new beans variety.
In Nigeria, there are concerns that the genetically modified products are not safe for human consumption. How safe is BT cowpea? Does it have any negative health implication?
BT cowpea doesn't have any negative health implication. By the way, the trait, or what we call gene, which gives it the character to protect itself, has been used in other crops. It was used in maize, it was used in garden egg, it is used in cotton, it is used in different other crops, not only in Nigeria, but in many other countries in the world. In the United States of America, for example, almost all the sweet corn you eat in any of their shops is a BT maize. If you go to India, many of the varieties of garden egg and Bangladesh being sold there is BT. And these products have been in consumption for more than, since 1992 to date. And there isn't any single scientifically proven case of any ailment that can be attributed to the consumption of either BT maize or BT cotton. Or similarly, this BT cowpea we are developing also, we have not seen anything negative that can affect human or animal health, either the grains or the leaves when consumed by animals.
Concerns have been raised that many people who are critics of the technology lack the knowledge. How would you react to this?
It is true, because rumor is that which spreads very fast. And I would like to blame us scientists for not quickly creating the awareness among our populace. Someone who does not know shouldn't provide information for you. You can't try to get an information on how a car works or how an engine works from a carpenter, for example. The fact that he's a carpenter, is a technical man, is not his area. The fact that you met another scientist whose area is not this area we are talking about is not going to provide you with this information. And many of these rumors were peddled initially to intervene in terms of economic war between Europe and America. You have seen it even recently. It is becoming more and more glaringly. Most of these technologies were developed by American scientists, and European scientists and farmers have not been using it, and so they realized the huge economic advantage and the huge trade advantage that America is probably going to gain over them. So they wanted to slow down the rate of this spread, and we are just caught in between something that has no concern with us. So the reality is that most of the allegations being peddled by people who, I will say, are completely ignorant of the science of this technology, or they are being paid by other companies to ensure that they protect their market. By the way, the BT specifically, I explained to you in the beginning that it enables the crop to protect itself against an insect. The insect we are trying to control in Nigeria in our beans is an insect that causes up to 80% yield loss when there is high infestation. So the chemical companies that sell these poisonous insecticides to our farmers will not fold their arms and look at someone coming to put them out of business or reduce their market for them. So they will find a way around it to ensure the discouragement of the adoption of this technology, which does not rely on their chemicals as much as the ordinary conventional one does. So in summary, BT cowpea as a food is safe. It does not have any scientifically proven negative health effect on either humans or animals.
What other benefits will farmers derive when this BT cowpea is commercialized?
Now, the first main benefit is that they are going to harvest in abundance. There is going to be very high yield as a result of using these varieties. Farmers are going to make as much as a double of what they would have gotten if they had used ordinary varieties. And then, even that one which they get, they would have harvested after they would have applied several series of insecticides, chemical insecticides. Now, this one does not need as much spraying, and so in addition to high yield, farmers are going to make huge savings. They will make huge savings from the cost of chemicals. The savings we estimated, if about 3 million hectares of beans are grown to these new varieties, this country is going to save as much as around 42 billion naira in terms of importation of chemicals. By reducing the number of sprays from 8 times to only 2, because this new variety now does not need this much protection because it is already resistant to a very devastating insect. The other few insects that will be controlled by 1 or 2 sprays is going to bring down the cost of production substantially, and then our country is going to make these substantial savings of around 42 billion naira annually in terms of savings from importation of harmful insecticides. And you know, these insecticides, I have to tell you that apart from the cost, they are even very harmful to the environment. So the benefit of the BT cowpea to the environment is that it saves the environment from being a host to very harmful and devastating chemicals. So growing BT cowpea is safer for the environment rather than bringing any problem to the environment, because it's going to save the excessive usage of chemicals. And then these chemicals are the ones that affect the health of our farmers, because they are very toxic, they are harmful. You have heard also, because of the frequent sprays, many of our products were rejected in Europe because they are loaded with chemicals in them.
To what extent can the release of this BT cowpea help the country in achieving its target of food sufficiency?
You see, if you harvest in abundance, the abundance will make it possible for the farmer to have more income, and then for the consumer to have it at a relatively much more affordable price. For several years, I can, for as far as I can remember, between the month of July and June, cost of beans is so exorbitant, so much so that many families cannot afford to eat it because it is so expensive. If we harvest in abundance, our farmers will break even, and because they are breaking even, cowpea beans will now be affordable to many families, so that will add up to the higher enhanced profile of food security for our country.
What other economic benefits will Nigeria derive
now, the other
from embracing this BT cowpea?
The other economic benefit is that all the value chain that is dependent on beans will be enhanced. For example, people who are processing beans for food products, and many new food products that will spring up because there is now going to be plentiful harvest from which you can have industrial development from. You will have local small and medium industries that can be used. And in the near future, when this becomes a more proteinous, there will be baby foods that can spring up from this. So the effects economically are tremendous. It can create job. People will get more job, especially the peri-urban and the urban value chain dependence on beans, like people who sell akara and so on and so forth. There's going to be marvelous.
Then what is your advice to people who are misled by this critics of agricultural biotechnology?
I would like to advise them to please double check, and it's not anybody who says he's a scientist who understands this technology. And therefore, they should run to those institutions that are known to be involved in this process and seek for the correct information. People should note that there are agencies that had to scrutinize every bit of this before they came to a conclusion that there is nothing to worry about and that the Nigerian public are safely protected. They are protected against any undesirable incursion, not only into their food habit, but also the safety of what they consume and what they live with.
It's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you very much.
We have come to the end of this edition of the program. Join us next week for another enlightening edition. I am Ifeanyi Ugoke.